Well, Prince Harry's UK trip is proving to be a dramatic homecoming after Buckingham Palace reportedly declined his request to stay at a royal residence. Then overnight, the Duke lost his High Court privacy case against the Daily Mail, with the judge dismissing all 97 of his claims.
With legal setbacks mounting and tensions within the royal family still firmly in the spotlight, it is yet another dramatic chapter in Harry's family feud. Our Royals commentator Angela Mollard has been closely following the Prince's movements. Lovely to see you, Ange.
Yes.
Great to see.
Harry's UK trip, it's going from bad to worse, really, isn't it? The High Court now handing down its decision. This is pretty damaging.
Hugely damaging for Harry. This has been a complete failure. This is his third challenge against a newspaper group, and the judge has said that his evidence was flimsy. Of course, he brought this case alongside many other celebrities. But the Mail group, the Associated Newspapers, had always claimed that this was lurid and preposterous, that Harry, there was a hypocrisy around it, because, of course, Harry then wrote Spare. He talked about killing 25 members of the Taliban, losing his virginity, doing drugs. He gave away so much more than the press had ever written about him. And then just in the last few hours, Paul Dacre, the editor-in-chief of Associated Newspapers, has had this to say.
There isn't a laundry in the cosmos big enough to wash all the dirty linen he has aired about his own family. For him to complain about his privacy being invaded takes not just the biscuit, but the whole tin.
It reminds me of Justice Lee in the Bruce Lehrmann case. Now, I used to work for Paul Dacre for a decade. I know what those journalists have gone through over the last 4 years. Their reputations have been in question. Now, they've all been exonerated in this, but this is a $100 million case. And what happened is that when Harry thought about going and bringing these court cases, he raised it with the late Queen Elizabeth and with Charles and with William. They all advised him not to do it. And if you look at it now, the way Harry's gone about it versus the very elegant and strategic way that Prince William handles his media, largely now through his own channels, as we saw at the beginning of this week with the lovely pictures of Kate, that was the way that Harry needed to go. This is a complete mess for him.
Is there some insinuation, though, that if the royals have been sort of, I guess, more accommodating and the information is coming from somewhere, that what Harry's been insisting that there is a passage of information from the royal family into the media, does that weigh into that now?
Well, look, the claim was that it had to be unlawful information gathering, so bugging, hacking. What the court established was that the journalist just simply had great contacts and that Harry's team was leaky. There was one journalist on the very last day giving evidence who had been at a house party with Harry. Harry hadn't realised that she was a journalist. They had continued to have Facebook messaging between themselves afterwards. There was also the insinuation that they'd actually had a relationship. So he wasn't strategic in who he spent time with, as we saw when he played nude billiards over the years. You know, there's an immaturity to Harry and then a reactiveness. So to make the claim that journalists used improper methods was scandalous.
Let's move on to the accommodation crisis. the Buckingham Palace. He's been offered a place to stay, and that now he's not. This is a mess.
Oh, this is again chaotic, petulant, inept. He hasn't given the king direction on whether he wants to stay or not. He said he wasn't going to on Saturday morning. Then he changed his mind and said he did want to stay. But the problem is Buckingham Palace is going through a whole lot of renovations, so staff are not necessarily working. You have to put them on to be able to accommodate a guest. The other thing was that the king and, of course, the palace knew that this judgment was going to come out. And if you remember, when Harry lost the security claim, he went straight onto and did a BBC interview, and that's what, of course, the palace would not have wanted, with Buckingham Palace as the backdrop, to be associated with Harry's court case.
Do we know where he is staying while he's in
Look,
the
he
UK?
could potentially be at all. He's in London, probably at a hotel at the moment. He's then going up to Birmingham. There is a thought that he was going to go and spend time at Althorp, which was, of course, the Spencer family property. He has very good relationships with the Spencers. So, you know, it could be that Meghan and the kids do still come out and stay either in Birmingham outside London or at Althorp, which, of course, has its own security.
Do you think we will see Meghan and the kids this week?
Look, we haven't seen them in Europe. To answer your question, Possibly, they so badly want that. Harry wants that for the connection with his father and for his father to see. The kids are 5 and 7 now, but Meghan wants it because of the relevancy. Obviously, you have to have that royal relevancy. I don't know if that meeting takes place between King and the kids. I don't think we'll know anything about it. But it could have been like that beforehand. They could have gone there, met the King, and it could have all been, revealed afterwards.
Security issues, though, have been the reason that Harry's said that he's been reluctant to come back and has asked for support from the royal family. Is that part of the reason why Meghan and the kids may stay away?
Absolutely, but they have full security if they stay in a palace. That's the issue. That's why the palace has offered it. It's an elegant solution to it. Look, security is always going to be an issue because it's taxpayer funded and Harry is not a working royal. So how do you justify to the British public, who are pretty angry at Harry and Meghan, to be honest, that you're spending their money on security? And look, that security risk is always being analysed. It's currently under review at the moment.
Well, can I say this? How sad that you have at your disposal 500 spare rooms, right? The King.
Absolutely.
And as a son, you just can't come and stay. Like, it beggars belief that there has to be the deadline has passed. I don't understand that. I don't understand it. Why can't he go and stay in the bedroom next door to Charles and Camilla?
He should absolutely...
I just don't get it.
Clarence House... The reason why is because he doesn't have brilliant advice. When he was in his teens with William, they had Mark Boland as their advisor. They need excellent royal, experienced royal advice.
Yeah.
Harry is just all over the shop.
Dad, I'm coming to stay. OK, great. Doesn't have to be in Buckingham Palace.
He wanted him to stay. They could stay at Windsor. They could stay at
He's
Sandringham,
anywhere.
Balmoral. The King's about to head up to Balmoral. There's all sorts of places they could have stayed. Harry loved Balmoral when he was a kid. Why didn't they all just go up there?
Why the fuss?
Small selection of around 5,000 rooms to choose from.
Thank you, Anne.